At the Academy of Music.
Okay, so this is Syberia, the world before. In the previous video, which is going to be just regular PlayStation video upload, the part one stated that this game had three different stories before it. Syberia 1, 2, and 3. All were made during different time periods in the past. And about the only thing bad about this game is the rendering of characters. It looks outdated. Um, is a popular story-based adventure game in France. It's a French-made game, and if you don't like Twilight Zone type games, which I like to call variation games, such as one moment you're running a gun and the next moment you're just pressing the buttons to tell a story, next moment you're a 3D model character, often an adventure that has nothing to do with guns or running or stabbing or shooting. It has to do with sifting water or something. The next moment, you're just a psychological detective in a not horror franchise, but in a murder mystery that has nothing to do with murders or mystery. And the next moment, you're Kate in a game called Syberia, where it's mostly about story and interactive buttons, such as same as Dark Pictures Anthology, but without the horror. Um, so if you're that type of person who like variations in your games rather than the same type of games, then this is the type of game for you. If you're not that type of person, you appreciate only certain type of games, then you might want to be, look somewhere else. I don't keep my head buried in the sand. I don't say this is better than this, especially when in the world of art or any form of art, and every exploration of art. And video games is one of the prime candidates for this. So if you can't express yourself in one way in art form in the real world, you express it in another way in video game form. And that's what this is. So yeah, I like independent art games. I like when they do very well because this had done three, and I'm continuing the story of this demo. And so far, there's only one thing bad about this game, I said in the previous video. So that said, I'll continue the adventures of Kate and this world.
We shall find a pretty frame for your diploma.
Oh, there's just one other thing I have to say. The story is mainly centered around, I believe the story this time around centered around Dana, this character right here. But the franchise surrounds around a character called Kate. And one of the main great things with regards to this game, in comparison to previous Syberia games, is that the model design, character design, as well as the environment design, lighting and shadows have been exceeded what it was in the. If you like story-based games, this is one of those very interesting story-based games. But this is the fourth one. I'm doing the demo for this.
Thank you, Mother.
Once you've finished your studies at the Academy of Music next year, you'll be able to start higher education at the Paris Conservatory. Won't she, Anton?
Of course. Of course.
Then, my darling, you'll become a great concert pianist. You make us so proud, doesn't she, Anton?
Of course. Of course.
So proud.
Even though I'll miss you both terribly.
And it's perhaps not such a bad idea for you to move away from Wagen. Times are hard at the moment for people like us. I do worry about your health still. Thankfully, Herr Gustav agreed to take you on at the mountain refuge this summer.
Oh, yes. The mountain air will do you a world of good, my dear.
By the way, did you write to Herr Gustav to thank him?
Oh, well, I was very busy rehearsing the concert, you know.
The gentleman is offering you a job, Dana. Thanking him is the very least you can do.
Yes, Mother, I'll do it right away. Herr Gustav, my future employer. Thanks to this summer job, I'll be able to help Papa pay for another year of schooling at the music academy.
And like I said before, the decisions you made in this game can affect how certain things play out in the end. So, this is one of those games as well.
The diploma Frau Beckmann gave me after my concert on the musical square. Mama was so proud.
I should think you'll be needing a pen to write that letter, my darling.
My pen? Can't be far.
Somehow something tells me that all these paintings are real. That they are paintings done by someone the developer paid to do for this video game. I mean, obviously they're paintings. But are they in-game paintings or real paintings? That's rendered into the game. Something also tells me that that the story is centered around the career of someone who used to be a portrait painter or associated with a family member who's a portrait painter. Either someone who died or someone who's alive. Showcasing their work or their body of work in the game. Could be wrong.
Papa, could your pen be around here somewhere?
Could be, I suppose.
No pen here. Papa is so untidy. I ought to write that letter before I go up to my room. Mama would be mad if I left now. Dear Herr Gustav, I would like to thank you for...
Don't, Anna, it's too dangerous.
Oh my! What in the name of... Dana, darling, no, give it to me, please. Oh my goodness.
What does it say, Father?
It's nothing, Dana. Nothing but spite.
Will they ever leave us in peace?
Come on, Lena, my dear. Hey, come on. Look at me. Don't let it get you down. Huh? Or we'll both end up in Paris with Dana.
Piss off out of here, you filthy Vagarans. Horrible!
Kate! Come on. We need to get to work now. That's it. I'll get started working now. You push the cart closer and come dig next to me, okay? I'm very sorry, love. But we'll have all night long to cry. You need to move the cart closer.
An ivory fragment. The guards grant benefits to anyone who finds any. But I couldn't give a damn now. An ivory fragment. The guards grant benefits to anyone who finds any. But I couldn't give a damn now. Stuck. All dented. A fitting metaphor for all of us in here.
Kate, come! I need a hand over here.
Brakes are on. Huh, what a surprise.
So you can be with us.
Is this chick having a mental breakdown or something? I don't see the purpose of pushing this. It's not like it's gonna slam through anything. Maybe it does have a purpose. This is weird. She had to push that big ass thing over here when all she had to do is get the pick from inside of it and walk over here.
You broke her heart.
You deserted her.
She died asking for you. Sorry, I didn't see.
Hey, look! Come on, let's go and see. That could be our ticket out of here. Let's check it out. Oh my god.
This carriage is more luxurious than the other ones. Maybe a dignitary's? What the heck happened here? How in the world did those bodies get here? Let alone the train. There's all Oscar's data inside. I was lucky enough to steal it from the militia soldier who picked it up at the frontier between Baranur and the Yakast. I just need to find a compatible body for it. That is, if I ever get out of here. Katyusha's punk group. Would love to have seen them. Looks like it was caught in a rock slide decades ago. Crazy to think that no one's found it. Until today. If there's the slightest chance of escape, better seize it. It's too late to turn back now. If there's the slightest chance of escape, better seize it. It's too late to turn... This cave is reinforced by those old structures. Must have been meant to shelter trains. And for a long time.
So, the train was supposed to be hidden in this cave. But it looks like it all went wrong after the rock slide, when these men were executed.
So it looks like they can be based on previous location. There can be things you find in the previous location, but you have to observe everything within the previous location, because once you leave that location you can't go back to that location. I wouldn't say that's a negative. It's more like you have to be careful for what you... Well, it sort of is a negative, but it's also based on logic of what makes sense and doesn't make sense. If you have the ability to escape, would you go back to search for things in that area? When you're in prison era, would you really do that? No. So sense-wise, it would make sense that even though you want to go back to collect things, you shouldn't be able to, especially if you're trying to escape. Video game wise, not so much. So I would say that's a half point off, but at the same time that's a half point on. So I get to about a 0 with regards to my thoughts on that. Like, should be able to absorb and recollect things, but maybe if you purchase the whole game, you can't come back to this prison and acquire those items. So I won't take anything away from the game. Logic wise, it makes sense what she's doing, or story wise, it makes sense what the story is doing.
Wrong one. Impossible. Still looks pretty strong.
So this is like playing out a story or an episode in a series, but it's in game format. Interactive story. That's what this is. An interactive story.
Another body. It's a real trail of carnage here. Jeez. Jeez.
Kate, what are you doing?
There's a dead body inside.
Leave it alone. You'll bring us bad luck. You get back here.
Wow, that's deep. Can't even see the bottom.
Yeah. And it means the tunnel on the other side is cut off. Must be the way out. I can see the light at the end.
How do we get across that?
I'm sure there's a way. Follow me. I have an idea.
And there you have it. And there you have it. A good example of what I said before. You could skip certain dialogues, or you could increase more dialogues with regards to what you choose to, or not choose to interact with the story. I could have choose not to talk to her and interact with the motorcycle. So this is one of those games where you can flesh out things more, or you can get straight to the point.
If we build up enough speed, we should be able to use the height difference on the edge of the precipice as a takeoff ramp to get to the tunnel on the other side, and then get to the surface.
Sure, that is if you can get the thing started.
Don't worry about that. Back in the days with my band, I always used to repair our old van on tours.
Okay, but wait a second. First, I want to take a closer look at these bodies and maybe figure out what happened here. Looks like Second World War uniforms.
They belong to the Brown Shadow, the fascists who triggered the war before they herded up and massacred millions of innocent people.
They were shot.
In the back.
Same as those over there. Full tank of gas. And it looks as if they were headed for the exit tunnel.
It's like they were ready to head out.
Looks like they were in a hurry, judging from their position.
I wonder how a bunch of World War II fascist soldiers ended up here.
Right. And who killed them just as they were about to ride out of here.
One thing's for sure, though. We've got to give this motorbike a try.
What? What are you saying? You mean you want to jump over the ravine?
Exactly. But the keys aren't on the bodies, I checked. They must be somewhere inside the train. You go and find the keys while I take a look at this motor.
Will do. You'll be okay?
Don't worry, love. I'm sure this beauty and I, we're going to become best friends.
This cave is reinforced by those old structures. Must have been meant to shelter trains. And for a long time. What the heck happened here? How in the world did those bodies get here? Let alone the train. I'm sure he won't mind if I search his desk. Sorry, whoever you were, but I need to do a quick search. One last drink to work up some courage? Nothing interesting here. Let's search somewhere else.
So this guy Christian's the right psychopath. These people were stuck in this place, unable to get out for God knows how long, years, maybe a decade, maybe 2 decades. Eventually they became disheartened and they're desperate to escape. he decided to kill them because he assumed that they would go to the enemy in order to gain their liberty. So he shot them, and then he shot himself. And that's the truth of the situation. He himself, that they were planning on going to the enemy, then he did the right thing. But if it wasn't, then this guy's a right psychopath, and he killed all of them, then blow his brains out, or whatever.
So this Brown Shadow officer shot his own men, and then killed himself to make sure the train was never found by the Allies. Whatever it holds must be priceless.
It has to be priceless if he's going to kill off all his men. Better be priceless.
Major Sutel's last drink to give him courage? The distinctive symbol of the Brown Shadow fascists. Many countries have banned it, and that's just fine by me. I don't think I can make any use of that. Nothing interesting here. Must be the motorbike key. Better give it to Katusha.
Got him!
It hasn't been started for too long. But leave me to it, and I'll see if I can get it going. If I can just get it to kick-start, we might be home free.
Okay, I'll leave you to it then. I'm gonna go search the train a little more. Maybe I'll find something useful for when we get out of here.
Sure.
Your chariot's waiting.
Hey, Hey, what are you... Holy crap. Wow. This is worth a fortune. I can't believe it. This is gonna come in nicely when we're on the road, babe.
A masterpiece. The Brown Shadow must have looted it during World War II.
Hold on. This looks like the same image. So I'm curious, maybe this is a past and a present type story, where Dana's stories of the past during World War II, and Kate's stories of the present after World War II. Of course, this is a fictitious type world where giant-sized robots and steampunks type stuff exists, and forward technology of that time didn't seem possible. Like, she has the heart of that of a robot. It's almost like lifelike. Those things are very strange. But this is a sci-fi steampunk type world.
I hate to think what became of the owners of all these stolen objects.
Oh my God. You gotta see this.
Yeah, it's pretty well done. I like the color of the rock face there. Is that what fascinates you?
No, Kate. There! Look! It's right under your nose.
It dates from 1937, apparently, but I can't make out the signature. Cola? Koba or something like that? Anyway, what's so fascinating about it?
You mean you can't see? Take a closer look.
Sorry, you'll have to be more specific, Katusha, because I still can't see.
Look again, there. The girl. She's your spitting image.
Well... You really think she looks like me?
Come on, you gotta admit it's incredible, right?
Either way, I suggest you put it away. We better get going.
This is weird. She gave like this look as if she was that character. I'm not sure when Syberia 1, 2, and 3, during the process of what years those things happened, but if the events of Denna's past was in the 1930s, and World War II in the 1940s, or the event after fall of World War II is 1940s, then we're in the 1950s or early 50s. Which means Kate would have to be very old. Well, not old as in 50 years old, but she would have to be beyond the age of 30 by now. She was a teenager in 37 or 36. Granted, if we're still in the 40s, just after World War II ended, it would have to be in the very, very late 40s. But I don't think that's the case. I believe we might be in the early 50s. Not sure. But it would have to be like 20 years ago. 20, anywhere from 15 to 20 years ago. Which means she would have to be 30 something. Kate would have to be like 30 something years old. Maybe 35 years old. 35 or 36. Which means that probably is her. But to be honest with you, Dana and Kate don't really look like each other at all, even in the previous games. Or it says previous Kate from Syberia 1, 2, and 3 doesn't look anything like Dana, to be honest with you. And why I would say this, is because Kate doesn't recognize these images. If she was Dana, she would automatically know that these are the images of her parents, of her mother, and her father's work, frameworking and painting. So it can't be her. She can't be Dana. Otherwise, she's pretending to not know these things. But the story is playing it off as if she does not know these things at all. Not as if she is pretending not to know, that she just doesn't know it.
I hate to think what became of the owners of all these stolen objects.
See, she's talking like she doesn't know who these people are. So she can't be Dana. Then the question, I guess, remains is why did she give that face as if she knows these people, but she doesn't know them? Or if the story is playing it off like she is Dana, but she clearly isn't. Very strange.
You should take another look, Kate. It looks just like you. It's amazing. You should take another look, Kate. It looks just like you.
Well, it's not giving me the options to take another look, so I might as well leave the carriage.
Come on, Kate. You gotta admit she looks like you. It must be a sign.
Hold it right there, girls.
All right. You've caught us. But take a look inside this carriage. The train is full of treasure. We can all escape with tons of it. Just look.
Don't move.
Listen to me, Simona. You've always been good to us, so why can't we help each other now? We'll be stronger together.
Together. And forget all about your precious attitude? Like this morning with your package, huh? Thanks, but no, Amerikanska. I'd rather keep this treasure for myself. I could leave this rotten prison. Nobody will know. I could even say you tried to escape, which wouldn't be a lie.
Simona, don't!
Don't take it personally. I just need a change of life. I think you can understand where I'm coming from. No!
And that's the end of the demo. So, very much decision-based game. Very much based on whatever choices you make affect how the game plays out. She clearly shot someone. It's either me or it's my companion. But if I wasn't rude to her and if I just took the package, she wouldn't have pulled the trigger at all. So I like that. I like that this is a decision-based game. However, I wouldn't. Here's the problem with regards to games like this. It's hard for games like this to succeed in the long run, because if you're interested in just playing out the story, that's great. At the end of the story, what is there at the end of the story? What is there at the end of the rainbow? If you play the game again, New Game Plus, will everything you collect still be within your arsenal? Would what you play over again, would there be new revelations given to you over again? With regards to certain decision-making things, would you get certain perks? Does your character get perks? Does your character get insights with regards to perks? Can they do things faster? Can you speed up the scene? Can you slow down scenes? Can you make your character, is there fast forward? Is there rewind? Is there options to skip certain conversations? Would this game offer you all those things and more if it's just based on story? That's a gamble, and those things have to be presented in the demo. But it's not presented in this demo, so I would say from standpoint of a demo, it doesn't give much more than just the story itself. If it's just the story itself, then fine, then the game is perfect. But for a game being a game itself, it needs to give more than that. So I'd say this game is not that good when it comes to the word game. When it comes to the word story, it's good. It's the same as Dark Pictures Anthology's game. None of them are really good, but the story are very interesting because what they offer you with regards to game and interactive buttons and perks and fast forward, rewind, and abilities and interesting and intriguing things, it's not present there. It's just obvious. So these types of game always lack that revelation with regards to what normal games do, because they're trying to sell a story, but they lack the understanding with regards to additional things that they should throw onto it in the process to be revealed in the demo. You're demonstrating your game to the world. You're demoing your game to the world, and you have to understand that there are many type of players out there. So if you want to pull in all types of players, then you have to offer something more. If you can't do that, you only want to offer or pull in specific type of players, then you succeed in that part. But for the most part, it will only be seen from the aspect of the very specific and never from everyone's point of view. So in that sense, this game failed. But that's what I have to say with regards to Syberia, the world before. I believe it's half good and it's half bad. Now, if you're going to drop money for this game, you have to specifically know you want to play a story-based game. If you want more than just a story, then maybe this might not be for you. It's definitely not for me. I want something more, and demo didn't offer me that. So we'll see what the next demo do offer. I think I'm gonna play one more demo, and that might do that next week, and then afterwards I'll focus on the finals and Warframe. But that's all I could say. Didn't offer me much in the demo other than the story and how everything looks. I believe it's half good and half bad. But it's not impressive enough for me to drop money on it. No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I would say a game doesn't have to impress me in order for me to drop money on it, but it does have to offer something of value that's impressive enough for me to spend money. It has to be something there distinct, specific, and impressive for me to drop money on it. It has to be something that if not two things, at least one thing that's very impressive for me to put money on something. And there was nothing specifically impressive here other than maybe the art of the world. It's not like I could start doing painting and everything and paint my own picture in the game. I can't. That's not what this is. So it didn't offer anything worthy enough to praise for me to drop money on it. So, but if you're the type of just want a relaxing time and this is your thing, this type of exploration world, this type of story base, you want something like the Dark Pictures Anthology games but without the horror, this would be it. Story-based, interactive story-based game, this would be it. So that's all I got to say with regards to this. On to the next one, I guess. That'll probably be next week. I'll do another demo, or this week, who knows. But all I'm doing for the month of January is just Warframe, and the finals will probably be last week of January, or the third to last week of January. So next week and the last week of January. Not rushing in to see what the finals is. I'm just gonna check out that game for about a week most to see if it's worth the hype. Alright, so that's it for this video.